Welcome back to Tech Rants. My name is Q, and today I'll be telling you my main issue that I have with AT&T. Let's get started. Okay, so as you guys know, I ported my main number from Boost Mobile to AT&T prepaid. Now, before then, I had AT&T prepaid, and I was on the unlimited plan for $55 a month. It's $55 with autopay, $65 without. Now, here's the thing. The fine print basically states that you're always deprioritized. So, I was kind of content with that. So, that's fine. So, basically, what happened was I ended up changing plans close to my end of my cycle. So, you're always deprioritized. So, that means, you're going to have, you're always deprioritized. So you can be slowed at any time. So I said, okay, cool. Now I got some, like, about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I could use my phone and I would run speed tests and I would get some killer speeds. Now if I went to if I was right up on a tower, I got pretty good speeds, no issues. So what I decided to do, I conducted a couple tests, just to see. So I did very, very briefly. I did a little test. I had some things going, and I did go to the higher up plan, which was you had 22 gigs before you were deprioritized, and I tried that plan. And I also tried the 8 gigabytes, which is what I had before I ported out from T-Mobile. Ported out to T-Mobile. I had the 8 gigabyte plan, and that was, it was 8 gigs before you were throttled. So when I switched to a plan that gave you a certain amount of full high-speed data with no throttling or deprioritization, what I found I got the same results as I would have got when I had the $55 plan. Okay, they intentionally slow customers that are on prepaid accounts for whatever reason. I have no theory to prove that, but actually I kind of do. I did this study. When you're always deprioritized, that's one thing. But as a AT&T prepaid customer, no matter if you pay for the top tier plan, the lower tier plan, or whatever, because you're on a prepaid account, you kind of get that second priority. Now, AT&T swears that you don't or whatever, but I've done the test. I have an iPad here, and I've done several tests on that. When I had the $75 unlimited plus plan, and I've had somebody in here that as well that had the same plan. We both ran tests, and sure enough, I was they were on a postpaid, I was on a prepaid. Sure enough, I was getting the slower speeds. I wish I should have made a video with them. We was doing those tests, but of course they didn't want to be on camera, so I can't force somebody to be on camera. But I did the test, and they were, I was actually getting somewhat of a slower speeds. Like, his speeds soared. Now, I did try it on 3 different phones, and I got the same results. Of course, my Honor 7X ended up pulling faster speeds, but it wasn't by much. It was about 15, 20 megabits. But his soared. Now, when I was right up on an AT&T tower, I got, of course, that's when my speeds would fly. I got full-on AT&T speeds. So, I think that right there, for them to kind of give the prepaid customers a kind of a second tier, second tier recovery or second tier speeds, I think that's kind of ridiculous. Now, of course, in day-to-day usage, you won't notice it. Okay, I've never had any issue with AT&T at all. I never, I stand by my review. Service was good. Customer service was great. At least from my experience, I never had any issues. But for them to kind of put those speeds for prepaid customers on a backbone, I do think that's kind of unfair. Now, another thing AT&T does that I don't like is that with the $75 plan, I had a hotspot included. But because my phone is not an AT&T branded device, I could not use that phone. I cannot use that phone to do hotspot. My phone was capable of doing it. I could use it, but what they'll say is that I'm stealing from them because I don't have an AT&T branded device. Same thing with voice over LTE and Wi-Fi calling. Okay, my essential phone, which is normally my daily driver, it's capable of doing it, But because I don't have because the Essential phone is not AT&T brand on it, it's going to be incompatible. It's not going to work. So if I wanted to use hotspot or HD voice or voice over LTE, I might have to put my SIM card in the iPhone. So to me, I think that's just ridiculous. You have me paying for the data. You convinced me to pay for the high plan. You know, I'm paying for it. I got all these features. The network can do all this, but because it doesn't have your logo and your stamp on it and you can't control it, it's a no-go. So that's mainly the reason, that's another reason why I like T-Mobile over AT&T, is because I'm not restricted to the network. Because my phone can do it and the network can do it, T-Mobile will allow it. So that's my biggest gripe. My two biggest gripes that I've noticed with AT&T. Are they still a good company? Yes. Do they still offer good service? Absolutely. It's still consistent. It still works, and I definitely still would recommend AT&T, because if you have the coverage with AT&T, it's going to work. AT&T works better in rural areas. They still have solid service. I'm not going to take that away from them at all. So I still stand by my review, but those are some issues that I did notice with AT&T. Now, of course, in everyday life, you're not going to notice it, but hey, it is what it is. So if this was helpful, informative in any way, please leave a like on the video, comment down below if you have any questions, comments, concerns about this or anything else. Subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.